Hello beautiful people, you're welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video. So today I want to show you how to make your own bust cup, that is already made bust cup, the custom bust cup. So today it's a DIY, make your own, or you can make for your client. So I've gotten requests from a lot of you to make corsets with bust cup. So I like doing a lot of things myself, so I want to make the bust cup, that is, to look like the already made bust cup you usually buy in the market. Then in the next video I'll be using the cup to show you how to make your corset with already made bust cup. Okay, so if you are not yet subscribed to this channel, do well to hit that subscribe button so that you'll be part of this wonderful family. It is free. And also turn the notification bell so that when I upload a new video, you'll be notified that I have uploaded a new video. So without wasting much time, let's just get to the lesson of the day. So thank you all for tuning in. And for my returning subscribers, God bless you all. You all are wonderful. So you get your paper. Now, there are certain things we need to put in place. Okay, in this DIY, you don't need the bust circumference measurements. Yes, but you'll be wondering then, how do you make different cups for different people? So there are things that are determinants to the bust circumference. Okay, so I made a video here on how to. So I've made a video on this channel on different formulas we use in sewing. So I'll be leaving a link to that video in the description box. In that video, you'll notice that almost everything on the bodies, at the top part of the body, the formulas are determined by the bust circumference. The armhole measurements can be gotten from the bust circumference, the bust span, and a lot of things like that. Okay, and even the bust point measurement and all that. So those are the things we'll be using. So let's get into work and you would understand. And I also have other videos on corsets making on I have different corset videos. So I'll also drop the link in the description box in case you haven't watched them. So that after making this cup, we would be making another video on how to use your already made cup for corset. So now what I'll do here is just to place the upper bust line. So you can just draw a line at the top of your paper like this to indicate the upper bust line, which is also known as the chest line. So just draw this line for a start. Now you place your tape. At this point where you have this line, place your armhole depth measurements, and taking this side to be imaginary shoulder. So from your shoulder to your armhole depth measurement. So your armhole depth measurement, some of you might be wondering, how do you get that? You can just measure the round armhole divided by 2, or like in the formula I gave, you use your shoulder measurement divided by 2. That is what you place here. Then there's also a formula for that, the bust circumference divided by 6 plus 1.5. Okay, so you just place your armhole depth measurement. So at that point where you have your armhole depth measurement is your chest line or your upper bust line. So I'm just using chest line because we'll also be having under bust, UB. So I don't want you to confuse it. Okay, so by the time you have placed this, which is your upper bust, you now also mark your bust points. So from your shoulder to the apex, the nipple point, the biggest point of your bust. Okay, that's your bust point. Then your under bust point, directly under the bust, is your under bust point. Okay, so I just want to draw a line. So let me repeat these points. So just still placing your tape the same way. You mark again and you draw a line. So this is actually very simple, and to give you a nice bust cup. So because sometimes you go to the market, you might not get the exact bust cup that will fit a client. So you can actually make the bust cup yourself. So this is the bust point and this is the under bust point. Okay, so when you have done this, the next thing is to place the bust span, that is nipple to nipple divided by 2. So in this case, the nipple to nipple divided by 2 is 4 inches. Okay, so you mark the nipple to nipple divided by 2. So in this case, it is 4 inches. So you just mark it. Okay, and you connect. So when you have done this now, so this is just like the bust part of our body. Okay, this whole area. So in the when you look at the human body, there's a space between one breast and the other. There's a space between one bust and the other. So that falls at the center front. Okay, so this side is the center front. Now we are going to minus that space. It is usually 1 inch. Okay, so it is usually 1 inch. Now we are working on half part of our fabric. That is like, let's say the fabric is on fold, so we are removing half inch, so that by the time you open it up, it will be 1 inch. So just remove that 1 inch. So since it's on fold, it is half inch I am marking. So we have to remove it so that by the time you make your cup, the two cup will not be jamming together. Okay, because that space have to be there. So now I will remove that space. So I marked half inch because it's on fold. So by the time you have removed that space, you then come to the under bust. You take a dart of 1 inch on both sides. That is, you mark 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on this side. So we're taking a dart of 2 inches. So that is what it means. You come to the chest line, you do the same thing. Mark 1 inch here and 1 inch here. Now you would connect it to the bust point. Okay, you will just make a curve. You make a curve like so to the bust point. Okay, like this and like this. So just curve it. You come to this side, you do the same thing. Do the same thing here. Okay, so you see what we have here. Now, having done this, you'll be connecting. Okay, you come to this bust point. So having done this, you come to this bust point, step up by 1 inch. Just step up by 1 inch. Okay, by the time you step up by 1 inch, connect from this line to this point. That is, from this chest, you connect to this point. So you can just like curve it. Connect it to that 1 inch. Okay, like so. Then you come to this under bust. You now make a curve from this point to the bust point. Okay, you make a curve from here to the bust point. And when you're making this curve, just make it like create enough room. Okay, so if your French curve cannot give you enough room, you just like trace it with your free hand so that you can have enough room there. So this is it. Okay, to the bust point. So by the time you have done this, you now come to this other side. So to create a cup on this side, you would measure the distance between your bust point and your under bust point. So in this case, it is 4 inches. Okay, now you come to this bust line. Place that 4 inches plus half inch. So in this case, it will be 4.5 on this bust line. You mark it. So the reason for this, we want to create the cup. This is the center front and this is the side. So this is where we have our armhole and the bust is fuller at that part. So you want to create enough room. Okay, so that's why we are doing this. So the distance between your bust point and your under bust point, add half inch to it. So you mark it on this bust point line. Then you connect it to this under bust. Okay, still creating room for the bust. So when you're making your curve it in such a way that you have enough room. Okay, so I usually use chalk to trace before I'll now use my marker. Okay, so this is it. Okay, we'll have it there. Now you still step up by 1 inch from this bust point, just like we did on the other side. Step up by 1 inch. So you connect it, okay, like so. Then you now connect to this chest line. So it is very, very simple, very simple. You don't need too much calculations here. So this is it, okay. Haven't done this now, we're also going to create that at the sides. So what you do, you measure 1/2 inch at this bust point line. You measure 1/2 inch up, so let me make it obvious, and 1/2 inch down. You do same on this side, 1/2 inch up and 1/2 inch down. So this very bust cup is for size 36. So I'm using my own measurement. So my upper bust measurement is at 7 inches. My bust point is at 10. The under bust is at 14. Okay, so this very cup I'm making is for size 36. So for bust 36, these are the determinants, these are the points. The armhole depth is 7, the bust point is 10, and the under bust is 14. So depending on the measurement on the client's body, depending on what you have, wherever the chest line of the person lies, you just place it, okay, minusing the shoulder. Place the bust point of the person, place the under bust, and you have the cup size of that person. So I also have another cup I've already made. I'll show you at the end of the video for size 40, okay. So but let's just finish with this so that you can see the difference. So by the time you have done this now, we would connect. Remember, we marked 1/2 inch on both sides, so you just connect it this time around. Just connect it straight to the bust point. Just connect straight to the bust point, like so. So just connect it like so, okay. Then you would cut out. Now we are cutting out this point, this area. We are cutting out this area. We are cutting out this area. We are cutting out this area. So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. So you label it this way: 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's cut. So you have it 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you see why you need to label it, because by the time you finish cutting it, you might not know which side is which side again. So you need to label it, okay. So make sure you label it very well. So having done this now, we'll join 1 and 2 together, 3 and 4 together, okay. So using your masking tape or any tape, just tape it down. So don't overlap it, but just like bring it, you know, bring it close. Don't overlap. So you can just carefully do this. Don't overlap per se, just carefully bring it together. So this is okay. You can leave it like this, because we'll still trim out this sharp edge. So you start from the lower part here, you join, then try to bring it together and join. So don't overlap it too much. Okay, so when you have this now, we'll trim out this sharp edge. So just blend it out and trim. So connect from this side to this side and you trim it out, okay. You do the same thing on this side. You trim it out. So by the time you have done this, now we have our cup pattern. So just want to make sure it is well trimmed, okay. So this can now be called 1 and 2. Now I also want you to note the center front. Okay, this is the center front and this is the side. So note it so that when you make your cup, this is the side that will go to the center of the bust. So having done this, we'll transfer on our wadding. So be making use of wadding, and the hard wadding is preferable. Okay, hard wadding, you can use either hard or the medium weight wadding, but the soft wadding, no. So either hard wadding or the medium weight wadding. So now this is the fusible side of my wadding. So I would place my pattern like this on it, then I'll add 1/2 inch on this side. So note how I placed it. This side is the down part of this, so it's going like this and going like this. So you add 1/2 inch here. Okay, so you can even add 1/2 inch all round. It's better you make it, if it's big, by the time you're done you can trim it. So I'll go ahead and add 1/2 inch all around it. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and cut it out. So this is all I have here. So trim it out nicely. Okay, so you need this 1/2 inch here. So you'll be asking, what about the dart we took off? The dart was to give us the cup. It was to help us to form a cup. Okay, so it is not bodice whereby if you remove the dart you have to replace it. So with that, that was necessary so that I can form the breast cup. Okay, so here you add 1/2 inch so that we can join these two together. Then you just like add a little more here so that the cup will not be too small. So whatever size you're making, you just follow this same step. Okay, this is it. So this is it for this and this. Okay, so by the time you have done this, you need to note the bust point. So let me remove this paper tape. You need to note this center point, sorry, this center point. And for this one too, you know it is coming like this. Let me just shift this. It is coming this way, so you need to note it like this. Okay, so this is just for one bust. This is for one side of the bust. This is for one side. So by the time you have cut out one, you will now use it to cut the other one for the bust. Now I want you to note what we have, what I'm doing here. I placed this like this to cut, right? For me to cut for the other bust, I have to turn this, okay, so that this side will face this side. So by the time we cut, to have the right bust and the left bust cup. Because if you cut it like this again, you end up having the same thing. For example, this is the center front. So let's say this is for the left bust. If you cut it this way again, you also have another cup for the left bust. So you need to turn your wadding. So let's say good side facing good side. So you cut. So I'll cut for the second cup. So let's just arrange it, and let me also label this one. So this one is like this. So you need to note. So place this to get this right. So this is center front for this one. So this one, this other one is actually supposed to be here, center front, and not this side. So let me cancel this side. Okay, so I want us to have it right, to make it right, so that we won't make any mistake. This center front, so this other side is the center front for this one. So let me cancel this one. Don't mind the chalk, it will clean later on. So now I can remove my pattern. Okay, so this one is for this, while this one is for this. Okay, yeah, like this. So like this, center front, center front. So you can see, so this is how you go and stitch it. So this is how you place it and you stitch it. Okay, so just join this one and you stitch. So I'll hold it with my pin. So you stitch like this, then this one too. So you pin it together like this and you stitch. Okay, so you stitch to this side, you stitch to this side, and this is the center front. So let me do just that. So I have stitched it. Okay, so the next thing now is to top stitch. So open up your seam like this and you top stitch. Okay, the two seams. So let's do that and you see what we have. So this is our bust cup after stitching and top stitching on it. You can see the inside. Okay, and this is center front and the center front. So this is how it will be. Okay, so this is it. So this is something that you can do, and if you look at it, it looks so nice. It looks so nice. So I also have for size 40. Okay, so this one I use size 36. Like I told you, I didn't take the bust measurement, but the determinants to the bust measurements, which are, that is for the bust 36, the upper bust point, the bust point, the under bust point, and the bust span. So that is what I used, and I arrived at this. Okay, so for the bust 40, I used the upper bust point of the client, the bust point, the under bust point, the bust span, and I arrived at this. Okay, so you can see the difference. Can see the difference. So I'll also be making a video on how I use this to make corset, just the way you use the store-bought already made cups for corset. So I'll make a video. It's just the same thing. Okay, the difference is that this is DIY, this is you do it yourself, but as for the size, the shape, and everything, it's just like the store-bought. Okay, so you can see how beautiful it is. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. Give it a huge like, share with your friends, and if you are yet to subscribe to this channel, subscribe. It is free. Just hit on the subscribe button below and turn on the bell beside it, so that whenever I upload a new video, you will be notified. Like I said, I'll be making a video on how to use this for your corset, how to make a corset with already made bust cups. Okay, so watch out for that video. Thank you and remain blessed.